Hello, my friends. I am so glad you've joined me today. If you've watched my first two videos, thank you. And if you've left a comment, thank you for that as well. I've been reading them and I genuinely appreciate every one. Today, I want to talk to you about something that has become incredibly important to me. How do you maintain serenity and peace when you have a career? Because the reality is that most of us spend 8 to 10 hours every day working. And yet, when we think about creating a beautiful life, we usually imagine the hours afterward. We think about vacations, quiet evenings at home, travel, or enjoying a glass of wine with friends. But what about the other 40 or 50 hours each week that we're actually working? If work constantly steals our peace, eventually it begins to steal our life. Now, I want to say something before we begin. I'm not a therapist. I'm certainly not here to tell anyone how they should live. These are simply things I've learned over the years, and I'm sharing them in the hope that they might encourage someone else who's trying to build a quieter, more intentional life. One thing that shapes my perspective is my career. I've worked in human resources for over 30 years, and during that time, I've advised executives, helped employees through incredibly difficult situations, managed conflict, and spent countless hours helping organizations make important decisions. And perhaps the biggest lesson those 30 years have taught me is this: I don't argue. That doesn't mean I avoid difficult conversations. If I believe something needs to be said, I say it clearly. I explain my reasoning, I share my recommendation, I answer every question I'm asked. But once I've done that, my job is complete. Earlier in my career, I probably would have continued trying to convince people. I would replay meetings in my head, wondering whether I should have made one more point or chosen different words. I haven't done that for years. Today, if it's an important issue, I memorialize the conversation in an email. I summarize the recommendation I made, I document the decision that was reached, and I send it to the appropriate people. And then I let it go. I don't spend the evening replaying the meeting. I don't carry it home. I don't lose sleep wondering whether someone followed my advice. People have the right to make decisions, even decisions I wouldn't make myself. My responsibility is to provide the benefit of my experience, my professional judgment, and my honesty. Their responsibility is to decide what they want to do with it. That simple shift has protected an incredible amount of my peace, because not every disagreement deserves to become my burden. Another lesson I've learned is that not every problem at work deserves to become a problem at home. Someone sends an email that irritates us. A meeting doesn't go well. Someone questions our work. A deadline changes. Before we know it, we've brought all of it home. We're physically sitting in our living room, but mentally, we're sitting in the office. I used to do that. And every time I did, I'd realize I've allowed work to rent space in my mind without paying for it. I don't think that's a very good bargain. I've also learned that every workplace has drama. Every single one. It doesn't matter how prestigious the organization is. It doesn't matter how much money people make. There will always be personalities, politics, misunderstandings, disagreements. I've stopped searching for the perfect workplace. Instead, I've tried to become the kind of person who can remain peaceful even when the workplace isn't. Because serenity isn't something your employer gives you, it's something you choose to protect. One thing that helps me is creating a transition between work and home. Sometimes that's sitting quietly in my car for a few minutes before I go inside. Sometimes I'm listening to beautiful music on the drive home. Sometimes it's making a cup of coffee before I do anything else. Those little rituals tell my mind work is over. You're home now. I've also come to believe that beauty has a way of restoring us. A clean room, fresh flowers, a comfortable chair, soft lighting, a candle burning in the evening. None of those things solve our problems, but they remind us that life is so much bigger than deadlines and emails. When I walk into a peaceful home, I'm reminded that my job is only one part of my life, and it is not my identity. I also think it's important to have something in your life that belongs only to you. Maybe it's gardening, reading a really good book, traveling to places you've always wanted to go, photography, cooking a satisfying meal. For me, this YouTube channel has become part of that. It's something that reminds me there's more to my life than whatever title happens to appear on my business card. Jobs change. Companies change. Titles change. But the life we're building, that remains. And at the end of the day, I don't want to spend 40 years waiting for retirement before I allow myself to experience peace. I want peace on Tuesday evenings. I want peace while drinking coffee in my own home. I want peace while reading a book. I want peace while taking a walk. I don't need a perfect life. I simply want a peaceful one, and that is attainable. I'd love to hear from you. How do you protect your peace while working? It would be incredibly wonderful for you to share your thoughts in the comments, because I truly enjoy learning from the experiences of other people. And if these conversations resonate with you, I'd be honored if you subscribe and join me as we continue exploring what it means to create a beautiful life. One thoughtful conversation at a time. Thank you so much for spending a little of your day with me. And until next Sunday, create the life you want.